I see Zurich in the attendees, by the way.
Yes,
I
just have to
may
give
have
me
to
a moment.
go in and out of camera this evening because my daughter's coming in and out of my room, so I apologize in advance. We're dealing with some homework and honors issues that we have to deal with tonight, so I apologize.
No problem. Well, it is 7 o'clock. Let's see.
Good evening.
Commissioner
Good
Cohen is
evening.
not attending this evening. I don't know if he's, well, he's not attending this evening.
Wait, I'm sorry, who isn't attending? I missed that.
Commissioner Cohen.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'll wait maybe 1 or 2 more minutes. I want to be respectful of people's time, and it is a holiday week, so we don't want to wait too long. But it looks like we're missing a few commissioners, so I'll give them a second to get on. Is the magic number 6, Commissioner Palmer, or is it 7? It's 6.
It's 6.
We actually have a quorum, so we could start, but I'll give people one more moment to join.
There's a Michael's iPhone. Do we think that that's Commissioner Cohen?
I have no way of knowing. If it
I
is,
saw that too pop up.
if it is, you can use the raise your hand function, or you can text me if it's him and let me know.
Well, Jennings here, so we do still have quorum.
Well, we had quorum before she arrived, but
Well, yeah,
yeah,
but I'm
we'll get started. We'll give it, like I said, a minute or two, and we'll get started in a second.
there we go.
Okay, 7:02. You want to go ahead and get started? Commissioner Palmer, I will call the meeting to order, and we can do roll call.
Great. 4B01 is not present to my knowledge. 4B02 present. 4B03,
Present.
4B04,
Present.
4B05,
Present.
4B06,
Present.
4B07 is not present. 4B08,
Oh, present. That's me.
4B09 is not present. 4B10.
Present.
Oh, we do have Commissioner Colson.
Okay, let's
Hang
promote
on.
her.
We did. Did somebody else promote her?
No.
I tried, yes.
Okay. Commissioner Colson, we just took roll call, so for the record, can you let everyone know you're here? You're here.
I'm
We
here.
we do have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay, with that, we will move on. As we all know, we have been meeting virtually for a while. I don't think we have to really hit hard on these instructions, but I will mention that we ask that you use the raise your hand function and wait until you're called on, elevated to panelists to speak. If you're on your phone, you can dial *9 and we will acknowledge you and give you the floor. Until that happens, please don't speak. I don't think there's anything else I need to mention, and so we can move on to the consideration and approval of the November 2024 regular public meeting agenda. Everyone has a copy of the agenda. It has been posted to our website. And does anyone have anything they'd like to add or amend? No. With that, going once, going twice. I don't hear Commissioner Johnson. You're on mute.
My apologies. I approve.
Okay, thank you. Is approve? I was
Oh,
worried
or
you were
excuse
gonna.
me. I'm sorry. I move to approve.
That's fine. I was worried you were gonna say something was wrong. Okay, so all in favor?
Well, if we have a
We
motion,
need a
Aye.
we need a
second, Chair
second.
Brooks.
Well, actually, we don't. We can accept the minutes by acclamation, so we can just do that.
Okay, then we don't
Um,
have a motion. We can
We
just,
don't need, yeah, we didn't need one, but it's fine. And we can approve the next on the agenda would be the approval of the October 2024 regular public meeting minutes. Everyone received a copy of those as well. They're also posted on our website. Does anybody have any question or concern with regard to the minutes? No amendments? No changes? Okay. Given that no one has a concern, we'll accept them by acclamation as well and move to the treasurer's report. Commissioner Yates.
The quarter 4 financial report is done. We're now in fiscal year 2025. So there's no update at this time.
Okay, wonderful. Then we'll move on and we'll go to the approval of the Advisory Neighborhood Commission 4B Annual Report 2024 and recognition of the student arts submissions. Commissioner Palmer, do you want to take the lead here?
yes, I am happy to do so.
So let
I'm
me
also
preface,
happy to share my screen if that's helpful.
I already have it up, but thank you.
while you're doing that, let me just share for those that are listening that we are required by the Office of the ANC to provide an annual report. We do that each year, and the report outlines what we've accomplished throughout the year, what we've addressed, and is a summary of the action of the commission over the course of the 2024 year. We actually go from November 1 of 23 through October 31 of 24 on this report. And take it away, Commissioner Palmer.
Yes, happy to do so. I'm just gonna pull this up so folks can see it. This is our 6th annual report since the commission has been complying with its statutory obligation to do annual reports. So this is our report for 2024. And as Chair Brooks mentioned, it covers our work for this year. We, at the leadership of Commissioner Brooks, have been doing a student art competition. This is our 2nd year doing that competition. So we feature the winners of the art competition throughout the report, as well as recognize them with a letter and a small financial prize. So you will see student art throughout the report. We have a wonderful introductory letter from our commission chair. And this year we've included some additional language explaining the report and what the report is and does. I think it's laid out very well. Some highlights about the commission's activities over the course of the year. Information about each commissioner and some of their work for their single member districts, the neighborhoods that they represent. Information about commission events, which we've had many. And then the bulk of the report addresses the commission's key issues and recommended district government action. And this has historically been built out in terms of the subject matter areas that the commission has focused on. These often revolve around our committee structures. So we have Vision Zero, housing justice, empowering youth, fighting for a sustainable future, and community safety and support. And there's a section on each and the work the commission has done with regard to each subject matter area. We have a section welcoming our new intern, which I'll reserve his formal introduction for the next agenda item. More student art. And then toward the end, there's a section about the commission's operations, which talks about some of our successes and challenges in administering the commission. We've made a lot of progress over 6 years, and I think if you're interested in seeing how the commission's administrative procedures and transparency have improved over time, this is really where you'll find that information. And then closes out with information on the commission's finances. The commission is in very strong financial standing. This is something else that we've improved over the last 6 years. We went from being several $1,000s in debt to having a strong balance and strong financial reporting and accountability. But mostly we wanted to flip through this to show you the student art submission winners. Their images and art are quite lovely, and we love to honor them as a part of this process.
Does anyone have a question or concern with regard to the annual report? Like the minutes and the agenda, it was distributed in advance and everyone had an opportunity to review it. No?
Just wanted to say thank you to Aaron and all of the student submissions. They were absolutely amazing as always. And we appreciate all your efforts.
Thank you. On behalf of Commissioner Palmer, do we need to have a vote or can we accept by acclamation if there's no concern?
I think we should vote because we include the vote count in the report itself.
Okay, is there a motion to accept the annual report as presented?
I make that motion.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. That's everyone that's present. All right, thank you very much. Next on the agenda is the welcome and introduction to the student intern, Denzel Robinson. Hi, Denzel.
Can I introduce him briefly?
Of course you can.
Okay. We are really, really excited to welcome our student intern, Denzel Robinson. Denzel is wonderful. He's joining us through OSSI's Office of Industry and Engagement's Advanced Internship Program. So he will be bringing specific technical expertise to the commission with a specialty in IT. He attends Phelps and has worked as a game programmer and a designer. So he doesn't just bring actual skills, but also fun skills to the commission. And he's really wonderful. The other thing I would highlight is that we are the first commission citywide to be placed with an intern through this program, which is a great city-run program that is both credit-bearing and pays a really good wage to the student. So we benefit from having great technical expertise and additional assistance with some of the work that we're doing. And we also get to support a DC student and give them hopefully what is great mentorship through the work of the commission and exposure to government and public service. So with that, if Denzel would like to say hello and introduce himself, that would be great, but no pressure if he doesn't want to be put on the spot. But Denzel, if you'd like to say something, we'd welcome you.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. As said before, my name is Denzel Robinson. I specialize in IT and I go to Phelps. I really do look forward to working with all of you and helping you guys out.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, we will move on. Next are commissioner updates. Typically, we go in numerical order, but today, since it is our last meeting of the year, and for some of us, it is our last meeting, I'm going to go allow the executive committee to go first. I'll start and say that the last 6 years have been an act of love for our communities. And this is my last opportunity, I guess, to, as an ANC commissioner, indicate how much I appreciate everyone on this commission and the previous commissions that I've worked on, as well as the residents that are here tonight who took the time during a holiday week to come out and care enough about their community to engage. So I want to make sure that I thank all of the partners. I'm someone who strongly believes in giving people their praise and thanks and flowers when they are around. So everybody knows that I am appreciative and I try to do that often. And so again, tonight, I'm going to make sure that I take the time to thank everyone specifically. I asked obviously I've asked the commission to be here, but I've learned a lot from each of you, and you've each allowed me to do the best job that I can do for my single member district. So on behalf of my residents, I thank every commissioner that is here this evening. Your effort to make ANC 4B a better place is greatly appreciated by me and by everyone else. I'm also here to thank MPD. I see that Commander Levenhouse is here. I'm someone who believes in collaboration, strongly believes in that. And so there's never been an occasion where I haven't been able to call a DC agency, the State Board of Education representative, the councilwoman's office, and not at least receive their best efforts. So I want to make sure that I'm thanking MPD. We've worked together to find ways to engage youth on the 4B 0809 side of the commission boundaries and hope to continue to do that. And there's never been, as I said before, an occasion where I couldn't pick up the phone and call someone. So I also want to make sure that I thank Barbara Rogers. Barbara Rogers was the former ANC 4B08 representative and somehow convinced me to do this. So I don't know if I need to thank her or not, or if I need to talk to her. But were it not for Barbara, I never would have been an ANC commissioner. So I want to make sure that I thank Barbara Rogers, not only for her confidence in me to do a good job, but also in her role with the councilman's office to support me in this role. So I'll continue to thank people throughout the meeting, but I'll stop there because I don't want to take too much more time. But again, thank everyone for making me a better person, and thank you for caring about your community. And so with that, I'll turn it over to Commissioner Smith.
Thank you, Chair Brooks. Good evening. Yeah, I would like to thank everyone in my SMD 4B03 for allowing me to serve the community, getting to know the agencies, learn how things actually work throughout the community, including MPD, working with them as well. To my commissioners, I'm going to continue, those who stand on, I'll continue to support you guys through everything. 4B rocks for me. I do like, want to send a shout out to Commissioner Palmer, Brooks, and Yates for one, because they kept everything together. They did everything with class. They built up 4B from a reputation standpoint, and I'm very proud of that. So you guys have a lot to be proud of building this 4B commission as it is today. So as I told you guys before, you guys have been a great help to me, to be honest with you. I keep a busy schedule, but I do my best, and you guys have made me look good in many instances. Okay. And so I thank you guys for that. I love you. And I will not be a stranger when it's all said and done. Okay. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Palmer?
Yes, thank you. I would love to thank my fellow executive committee members, because this commission would simply not run without you, as well as, of course, the residents of 4B and 4B02 and really all of DC. I do also have some commission business to discuss.
Absolutely.
So I just want to highlight a few single member district things coming up. Commissioner Yates and I are hosting our annual tradition of our Thanksgiving morning community cleanup. It will be on November 28th at 9 a.m. at Tacoma Elementary School. We bring all the supplies. This is a great family-friendly way to engage in some service on Thanksgiving Day. I will also have my monthly community cleanup on Saturday, December 7th at 10 a.m. at the corner of Van Buren and Piney Branch by the Safeway. I hold that cleanup every first Saturday of the month and will continue to do so. And I have my office hours, which have for the last several months have been 311 blitzes, where I walk around and submit as many 311 requests as possible. My next office hours and walk will be on December 21st, starting at 10 a.m. from my house. So those are SMD activities going on, and also wanted to give a quick update. Second, let me find this information that the National Park Service is going to be doing some work on the National Battleground Cemetery, which is on Georgia Avenue. They are increasing the accessibility by having a graded ramp entrance into the space, which is currently stairs. And I gave some feedback on that, and as a result, they will also be putting some benches into the space. So we have successfully advocated for benches within the National Battleground Cemetery. And that's all from me.
All right, Commissioner Yates.
Yeah, I didn't have anything prepared to say in this moment, but just my appreciation to my fellow commissioners, to the executive committee, to the former commissioners that I have worked with a special recognition to former chair Brenda Parks, who was a pleasure to work under. Every community member that I had the pleasure of working with. Like Commissioner Palmer, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody Thursday for our annual Thanksgiving Day cleanup. It's always good to give back to our community on a day of service. And it's been a pleasure to be in service with you all for the previous 6 years.
Okay. With that, I will just round robin it. Commissioner Gilligan.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I don't have any 4B05 specific things, but I do want to express sincere appreciation and thanks to the commissioners here tonight. I'm a one-term commissioner. I came in 2 years ago, and I've got a toddler at home. He was 2 when I started. He's going to be 4 next week, and um, and I mean, the local governance, I'm a federal civil servant in daytime, but local government is different. Y'all are impressive. And I fear that I didn't live up to what you guys set the bar high. And this is special. Like, you guys are amazing. It's a testament to just your dedication, your love for community, the neighbors around you. And that is really special. And you inspired me to do better. And I appreciate that. And I hope that with the turnover of commissioners, that spirit 4B kind of stays alive for the years ahead. The thing is, it doesn't all fall on commissioners, but it falls on the neighborhood too.
It absolutely
Step
does.
up, right? So the commissioners here are leaders here, but it's contingent upon everybody to get along and trying to find solutions, particularly in the times that we're living in. So just that's it. Thanks.
Thank you for that. Commissioner Colson.
Thank you for allowing me to go next, because I feel like my sentiments definitely align with Commissioner Gilligan and Commissioner Smith. Yes, you all are impressive. I really appreciate the time that I was able to learn from you all. When I say you all, the commissioners, of course. Also, I want to say thank you to the residents of 4B01 for allowing me to serve with you. In terms of my commissioner update, I do want to elevate what has already been discussed in a few of the group chats for 4B01, which was a recent discharge of a firearm, and I hope to have clarifying answers when the commander comes on, but that's where we are right now. We had another shooting, but there was not a victim or property damage yesterday morning. And so I believe this is the 3rd or the 4th this year in that same block. So definitely looking to hear from the commander about what is being done and how we can continue to support and move forward in the right direction. But this is alarming specifically for the same block all 4 times. And other than that, I want to say thank you for the opportunity to serve. And who is next? Commissioner Brooks, who do you want to listen
The
to?
returning commissioners, Commissioner Johnson and Commissioner Berry are returning. Commissioner Johnson.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to first and foremost thank everyone for your votes. It is humbling and truly 100% appreciated. If my daughter were here, she would tell you the same thing, because we were just amazed by the outpouring of support. We are going to have our next single member district meeting on December 2nd. We're just going to wrap up this year, and I also have a coat / toy drive that is occurring now between now and December 16th. You can drop off toys during those dates between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. If I need to pick up something, I'm happy to do that. Just message me. Then we also have our last community safety and support meeting on December 19th. We are going to have representatives from Councilmember Mendelson's office to discuss the hearing for his Vacant to Vibrant Act and what we can do to bolster that legislation. There is a forthcoming resolution that I'm hoping to get some feedback from the community, as well as our Housing Justice Committee. And I want to thank those members of that committee for their input. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Commissioner Berry. Commissioner Berry, I think you're muted. There you go.
Oh, okay, thank you. So I have a few updates with the Lamont Community Action Group. We're having a few December events. So on the 1st, December 1st, we're going to be decorating at Milligan's Point at 4 p.m. and we'll have hot cocoa, hot cider, coffee, and then their virtual meeting is tomorrow at 6:30. A few other things, but mostly I just want to say that I came into this stepping into a vacancy. So I've only been commissioner for a year, but just being able to see how the executive commissioners have worked is absolutely amazing. I've seen I've looked at other commissions annual reports, and I've Commissioner Palmer is so good at just writing like graphics, everything, and she's very like well spoken. Same with Commissioner Brooks, and yeah, you guys have like really taught us a lot, and just being able to kind of, like you said, carry on the legacy that 4B has, you guys have set the standard of. I hope we will can do that with the new commissioners, but I'm really grateful to you guys, and I've said a few times that when I'm like thinking about decisions I need to make, I just think what you guys would do, and I'm really grateful for you guys. Um, Yeah, we'll definitely miss you, but I hope we'll see you at meetings around the neighborhood. Thank you.
Of course. Let me give a couple of updates for 4B09 because Commissioner Thompson is not here. Residents have complained about the double parking in front of the Walmart. Today, unlike I have done it before, but today I contacted DPW. I've asked them to ticket and tow. People are parking all day in what are 2-hour parking spaces. And so that request has been made. I will continue to follow up and find out what happens there. Also, I've sent out an email with regard to the opportunity to testify to the city council with regard to the National Park Service. And for those of us that live around Park Service land, we need to testify with regard to how it's maintained and how that maintenance is impacting us. Unfortunately, it's on December 4th, which is a day that I have a big meeting at work. So I'm not sure whether or not I will be able to testify in person, but I will absolutely be submitting testimony, and I'm asking for residents to do the same. So if you have any questions, I've sent out an email to my distribution list about how to testify. Feel free to share that with your friends. If you have any questions with regard to how to testify or what to discuss, I'm happy to talk to you about that. You can reach out to me at any time. Commissioner Johnson.
Thank you for pointing that out. I've also posted that information on my website, and I've already submitted testimony. And so I'm asking again, based on you, everybody, please testify.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, we will keep going with our agenda and move to community concerns. I believe that's what's next, and I don't have it open, so let me do that. Yes, community concerns. We ask that you use the raise your hand function on if you're on Zoom, or dial *9 if you're on the phone, and we will acknowledge you and give you 1 minute. Thank you very much. At the end of community concerns, I must say that I just realized there's one presentation that's missing. It's not really a presentation, it's a report. MPD is not on the agenda, and they are supposed to be.
They're
So
here. They're on the agenda.
they are. I don't see it. Maybe I have an
They're
old one
listed
open.
first.
Maybe I have an old one open. Okay, that's great. Then we'll go to MPD right after community concerns. So we'll start with those that have their hands raised. Let's see. Commissioner Yates, are you?
I already elevated Mr. Pete Volk.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, my name is Pete Volk. Nice to talk to you today. I'm here as a board member of the Tacoma Flats Tenants Association.
Mhm.
Tacoma Flats is a property in Ward 4 that's been in the process of being sold for over a year. The Tenants Association invoked our TOPA rights and negotiated in good faith with the potential buyers, only for them to drastically change terms at the last minute before the deadline. After we refused to sign their new unfair agreement, they cut contact with us, and now their period to complete the purchase within the TOPA timeframe has lapsed, which should restart the TOPA process, but they still refuse to engage with us. We're just looking to negotiate in good faith and protect our rights and our residences, and we're also concerned about the precedent this could set for TOPA rights in the district. We're exploring our options and wanted to see if there's anything the city can do to help, or if there's anyone we can speak to more directly on this matter. We've been in contact with the OTA, and while they're sympathetic, they don't have the resources to help us at this time. I can be reached at pvolk91@gmail.com, and I thank you for your time.
Commissioner Yates, I must admit, I don't know all of the new commissioners since I'm not returning. Do you know who is replacing you? And
This is actually not my SMD. This is
okay.
Tacoma Flats is at Eastern in Georgia. It's Commissioner Colson's and will be Commissioner Payton's.
Okay. So, Mr. Volk?
Yes, Doug Payton.
Doug Payton will be your new commissioner as of 1/1/2025. And you can use the same email address that exists currently, which is 4b01@anc.dc.gov. The current commissioners that are rolling off are winding down, but you can send an email to that email address so that there's a record, and Commissioner Colson can transition that email to the incoming commissioner.
Thank you very much. I will do that.
Thank you. Who are we elevating next?
April Brown.
Hi, I just want to thank all of you guys for everything that you do. And Chairperson Brooks, you've been the best because you send me your emails. And I just want to tell you, it is so appreciated. And I hate to be this person, but does anybody else send out emails? Because just the, I think I went to one over at, I can't even, Emory. They had like some attorneys, they had people there to assist you with doing trust and everything. And you sent that email.
Yes.
Things like that we just don't hear about. And I just want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. You'll be sorely missed. But does anybody else send out emails like that? Because things, the neighborhood, we just don't know about things that are coming up.
Let me say it this way. Every commissioner has the ability to do it how they want to do it. Some of us have blogs, some of us have websites, some of us are older and less tech savvy and just send mass emails. So you can, I don't know what the next commissioner in 4B08 will do, but you can Google the commissioners' names, and then you'll be able to find like whatever their thing is, right?
Okay, we'll do. But just thank you so much. It's been appreciated.
Thank you. Commissioner Yates?
I'm gonna Carol's iPad because I don't think we did our normal announcement.
We didn't do our normal blurb, and I thought about it when I saw it. So before Carol speaks, let me, to be fair, let me say we typically do not call on people whose names are not listed. We won't, for example, take initials or iPhone as the only, name label on here. So if you could change your label so that we know who we're speaking with, we would greatly appreciate that. Carol, the floor.
Okay. Hi, good afternoon. Can y'all hear me?
We can.
All right, quickly, this is my first time attending. I'm a Ward 4 resident at 7th and Peabody Street. I just want to quickly know, how do I go about getting some type of traffic thing at Rittenhouse and Blair Road? There's a pre-K or nursery school there on Blair Road, and there's no for parents to cross that Blair Road to get their children to that nursery school is very dangerous. And so I just want to know what the steps. The nursery school does have a gentleman to come out with a stop sign, but sometimes if he's not there, those cars do not stop, and it's very dangerous for parents to cross that street. So I think it's a 6200 block of Blair Road.
I know exactly where you're talking about, and I'm not sure if that's Commissioner Johnson or Commissioner Cohen.
That is actually Commissioner Cohen, but I am very aware of the issues going on in that 100 block. There is work with DDOT. If I remember correctly, they are trying to get a traffic calming officer at that intersection.
I believe so.
But it's fallen into the gap of the same thing that's going on with Second and Peabody, where there are just not enough individuals to serve that community. So I am reaching out to DDOT to ask the same questions probably you are. When are we going to get a traffic calming officer?
Okay, so real quick, I'm not sure if that an officer would even be, I mean, is there any way we can get some type of apparatus, I guess, like they put at Piney Branch and I forget, I think Dalla?
The requests have already been made for traffic calming in that area.
Yeah.
It's just a waiting game at this point. There's also construction on Blair Road at that intersection.
And that has been the problem.
Right?
That has been the problem, that because of that intersection already being under DDOT's purview for the traffic calming measures that we asked for like probably 10 years ago. And then the lapse of not having a number of people to be traffic calming officers. So we're seeing a situation where they did not anticipate and expect what we will be asking for. And so now there is not enough human capital to support everything. I have been working with DDOT. I'm sure my colleague, Michael Cohen, I hope he is, has been reaching out to DDOT. I am awaiting to hear a response so that we can get the additional support that we need.
Okay, thank you.
All righty, bye-bye.
Bye.
Next.
Go
ahead,
Brooks.
sorry, Commissioner Yates, I saw your hand. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I was going to say, I just wanted to flag that there will be physical traffic improvements coming to Blair and Rittenhouse as part of the Metropolitan Branch Trail project, which is under construction, which the commission did support. That includes curb bump outs to shorten the crossing distance, better crosswalks, things of that nature. If Ms. Carroll is interested, she can read more at metbranchtrail.com and look at the plans for that intersection.
Thank you for that. So next, I believe, is Brian Coates. Mr. Coates?
Hello.
Hello. Are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
We can.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
We can, yes.
Oh, you can hear me?
We can,
okay. Yes. I just had a couple of questions. Okay, good evening, everybody. I just had a couple of questions about the project. It looks like it's completed across the street from the Tacoma Metro. There used to be a 7-Eleven there. I wonder if anyone had any information on that. And second question is about the, I guess, future construction going on at Georgia Avenue and Alaska. The strip mall up there looks like it's been boarded up. And I was wondering if anybody could speak on those.
Who wants to go first?
I'm happy to update on both of them if Commissioner Colson is okay with me talking about the Progresso Market project in addition to the one. Yeah, so
Georgia and Calmia, but yes, go ahead.
yeah, the project that completed construction across from the metro, the company that developed it went bankrupt, Neighborhood Development Company. It's a citywide bankruptcy. My understanding from people who are involved in the industry is that due to interest rates, the condo market is pretty tight right now. So I believe the intention is to sell the building in bankruptcy and convert it to apartments instead of condos. I think that process just takes longer than
Okay.
having already. So the building is built. It's just a matter of sorting things out and then I think probably converting it to apartments. And then the
Any,
other one, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, is there any idea if it could be used as affordable housing since the city
There
is?
is some affordable housing already in the project under the district's inclusionary zoning program. About 10% of the floor area is already set to be income restricted affordable housing. So there will be some affordable housing as part of that project. But it was of right as a matter of zoning. So there wasn't any leverage for the commission to get additional affordable housing out of it. But yes, there will be some affordable housing in it. In the area, though, I will point out, though, the project that's currently under construction above Spicy Delight is 100% affordable housing. The PUD that just got approved at the Tacoma Metro Station parking lot is a full third deeply affordable housing and was supported by the commission at 7500 Eastern Avenue. The order just came down this last week, approving that PUD, which will be 80 units of 100% deeply affordable housing in that area. So there's a lot of affordable housing coming to the commission area, if that's a concern of yours. And then the Progresso Market, the strip mall project that you referenced, has come before the commission a couple times. It is slated to be an all affordable senior living community with ground floor retail underneath it. So that should be seniors who are basically on Medicaid will be the primary population there with live-in services. So that's what's going in there.
I had when you said the Progresso, I know the last time, and it's been a while, they talked about it. They were trying to get it zoned for, was it 5 floors to 8 floors, or was that the case? Or was that even
not
approved?
an 8-floor project,
but
it was zoned for what's called MU10, which is not a number of floors, but you can look up the codes. It's not an 8-floor project. I believe it's 60 feet, something like that.
60 feet. And did I understand you to say that the parking lot at the Tacoma Metro is now going to be taken and housing is going to be put there? Is that what you just said?
Yeah. So this has been, I would just say that project is, I would suggest looking up separately because that's been extensively discussed in these meetings and other meetings for, I think it's been 15 years in the making, if not longer. I couldn't do justice for the history of that project in this discussion.
Yeah, I understand. It's just that we thought that was supposed to stay within the stay open space. That's what I thought. But anyway.
Yeah.
There's
going to be substantial public space there.
I'm sorry. At this point, Mr. Coates,
no problem.
To take it offline to have a more detailed conversation.
Sure. Okay. No, it's okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Commissioner Johnson, did you have a question?
Yes. Who is Mr. Coates representing?
He has a question. He has questions about various developments that were coming up inside the ward, inside the boundary.
Okay. Okay, so he's not a developer
No,
or
no,
an interested party. Okay,
no, no.
thank you.
Okay.
He's a
Chair,
wonderful resident of 4B01.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you so much.
Chair Brooks, I will say there is a community concern in the chat if you'd like me to read it.
I would.
Barbara Early Allen wants to know, what can the ANC do about cars running the stop sign at 5th and Nicholson Street? Drivers do not stop traveling south as they attempt to make the green light on Missouri Avenue. This most often occurs in the morning rush hour.
That's an enforcement issue. That's an NPD enforcement issue, which I'm sure they just heard you ask about, and they can address either when they speak or by showing,
Or
address
the
during
commissioner
motion.
for 5th and Nicholson also may want to flag it.
Is that Commissioner Smith? Is that within your boundary, or is that Commissioner Gilligan? Neither one?
5th and Nicholson has already been flagged. It's in the trajectory to be solved. I don't know when it will come to fruition, so I apologize.
Okay. We'll keep moving on. I don't see any other raised hands, so we'll move to Commander Levenhouse and anyone else that she has with her. I'm not sure if there's anyone else on the call.
I only see Commander Levenhouse. I've promoted her to panels.
Officer Lassane is here. Should I promote him as well?
I didn't see him though, so if you see him, that's great. Oh yeah, I see it. Oh, I was looking under the A's. Sorry.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. I thought Lassane was gonna get on. He might
Yeah.
not be on, but no problem. I'll go over
Yeah.
quickly some stats for the ANC. You all can hear me, right?
Yeah, Commander, he's here.
Okay.
Elevated as well.
Okay. While he's getting elevated, I'll go ahead and go over the stats for the ANC while we're waiting. So over the last month, we did have one assault with a dangerous weapon. I know many of you have reached out to me to talk about that one. That was actually inside of the store, involving the SPO and the individual that the SPO encountered inside of the store. So that was that situation, and it has been closed. We did have 6 robberies. Um, the increase of crime that we have seen in the area, especially going into the holiday season, and I think that's what a little bit of what Lassane was going to touch on is those thefts. We're seeing an increase of package thefts in the area. For the district as a whole, our burglaries are up. Just over the weekend, I did send it out to all of the ANCs today, just some holiday tips. Over the weekend, we had quite a bit of burglaries of unoccupied residences. So no one was home at the time except for in one of them. But in all of these situations, doors were unlocked and windows were unlocked or left open when these individuals went in. There was no breaking into the location. So we're still not securing our property. Doesn't give anyone the right to enter, but that is just a reminder. It is holiday season, and this is the same time that we saw an increase in these crimes last year in the same area. So I just wanted to make sure that I got that out immediately since we saw that increase. Same thing with the theft from autos. Laptops and things have been left recently in bags, and that's where we're seeing the increase with that. Talking about the sounds of gunshots that the commissioner was talking about earlier on the call. We did have sounds of gunshots in the area that early that morning. Officers did respond. They did locate casings in the area. Fortunately, no one was struck by gunfire and there was no reported property damage. What we have been doing, not just in this area, but throughout the district, definitely working with our agency partners, meaning the county, talking to Tacoma Park. We all got in a room a couple of weeks ago together just to talk about what we're seeing on each side. And they're seeing some of their activity in their wanted individuals fleeing into our jurisdiction. So the collaboration has been great. I really appreciate it. It was actually PG County that called the meeting And we all went there and collaborated. So my managers, lieutenants, and captains were able to get into the room with them to discuss this. So we are getting more support on the line. In relation to that crime specifically, we need video footage to find out who these individuals are that are just firing firearms in our community. So if anyone does have any footage, any of your community members, please reach out and let us know. That's pretty much what's going on, unless you have any specific questions. But if I could, I also just wanted to say, Commissioner Brooks, I definitely appreciate you. I wanted to say, thank you for your support as a new commander. Your collaboration, your insight, your advocacy, has definitely been invaluable, as a new commander in this position over the last year and almost year and a half now. It kind of went by quick. But I'm just glad that we were able to work together to enhance safety. Definitely grateful for the partnership that we've built, and I definitely appreciate the way you guided me, but also held me accountable in this role. It was definitely something that was needed. So I just wanted to say truly thank you for your support, and I'm looking forward to hopefully you continue to assist moving forward. But I wish you the best.
Thank you. Absolutely. While I'm not going to be an ANC commissioner, I will still live in this community and still advocate in other ways for my community. So you will definitely continue to hear from me, and I really appreciate your words. Thank you. Commissioner Johnson has her hand raised.
I actually think Evan was here first, so I will allow him to go first and then I'll piggyback.
Sure, go ahead, Commissioner Yates.
Yeah, I just wanted to flag, since we're talking about the issue of cross-border cooperation, this may have been before your time in the 4th District. There was an effort on the section of the board that I represented, between us and Tacoma Park, Maryland, to get a memorandum of understanding between the two departments, to allow for increased cross-border cooperation, and that there was a memorandum finalized. The Tacoma Park Police Department was ready to sign, and that Assistant Chief at the time, Will Manlapaz, ended up killing it. But I would imagine that cooperation agreement would still be on the table if the MPD, because there's been a renewed focus on these cross-border efforts, would be available for the shared downtown area in Tacoma Park, if that's something you're interested in.
Thank you. If you can send me any information that you have on it, who you spoke with, I'll also bring it up to them. But if you have that information, I'll definitely look into it.
Sure.
I was going to say the same thing on behalf of 4B09. I'm sorry, 4B10 now. There's an issue, going across Eastern Avenue. And I had thought about preparing a resolution this month that addressed that, but it's one, not my SMD, it's Commissioner Berry's SMD, and two, since I'm rolling off, I'll afford her the luxury of addressing that issue. But I have a special spot because some of those residents before redistricting were mine, and I know what their concerns are. And so I'm sure you do too, that people are crossing the street and committing crime on Rittenhouse, on Quackenboss, on Quintana, and then, going back across the street. So, and it goes both ways, right? DC is going across the street to Maryland, so you can't get them. And the Maryland folks are coming across the street to DC so that they can't be stopped by Maryland's PG County or Tacoma or whoever police. And so that's something that will need continued attention as well. Commissioner Colson?
Hi, Commander. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for turning your camera on. Nice to see you. Thank you for your email or your team's email. I just want to elevate again that I believe on May 22nd, we had a shooting in the same 100 block. And during the ANC meeting at the time, I believe Commissioner Johnson volunteered a camera, which I know that she cannot just do. And although we appreciated Commissioner Johnson, I'm sure that you had it allocated or needed it to be somewhere. But without you saying, I believe these firings are coming from the same location within the 7300 block of Blair. I would suspect that it perhaps came from somewhere in the alley. So I say all that to say, again, can we get additional support and coverage in the alley, or perhaps the camera or video equipment that we talked about back in May?
Right. point. So I don't determine where the cameras go. I make suggestions, as we talked about before. So I'll continue to make that suggestion. What would really assist us in the meantime is to make sure that any cameras that residents do have are connected. So if you can assist us with getting people connected, we're able to look at that footage when something happens and be able to, hopefully eradicate the issue quickly. But we were able to, a camera I've been requesting for Eastern Avenue finally was put up there. So hopefully we will get one soon. We are moving into the new year. All the cameras have been ordered already. So hopefully we'll be able to move one soon.
Okay. And are you at liberty to speak more about where the shells were found?
We have it marked in the block. So it was just in the block in the street.
In the street. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Berry?
Yeah, so to touch upon the issue that Commissioner Brooks talked about, I live on Eastern, so I have seen Eastern Rittenhouse. I have seen cars like being chased by police, by Maryland police, and then they cross the border into DC, and the police just stop. So I'm wondering, like, if that's how the relationship with DC and Maryland police is. You literally can't, even if you're like have witnessed them or you're chasing them once they cross the border, you can't continue. And then the other thing is, I had a question about the cameras, the very tall MPD cameras that have like the red and blue flashing lights. We had one at the end of Kansas Avenue near the Lamont Rec Center, and then it was taken away, and then the shooting at the Lamont Rec Center happened, and then the shooting at the gas station on Eastern happened, and then the camera was put in. And back in like July, I asked the councilwoman, how does like the decision into where to put these cameras go? And she did say that there's limited cameras and stuff, but it seems like it's put in like only when something happens as a response, as opposed to being like a preventative thing. Can you talk about the process of how you decide where to put these cameras?
So it kind of is a solution or one or not a solution, but one of the things that we do when something happens. So we have to write up a memo. We have to pull up, the data, put the supporting facts in there to put cameras up there. And I'm pretty sure I'll see what is available or what's public in the policy. But yes, there is a criteria that we have to follow. It's not as strict as the drug-free zones, but something similar. Like we have to be able to show that is a valid reason, increase of crime compared to the last year or 2 years. There is a criteria that we have to write up. And I'm saying, yes, the crime supports it. And then with that, you also have to look into there are only a certain number, certain amount of cameras. We're talking about mobile trailers. So there's places where a mobile trailer has been for a year. That's something that the department is going to put in the budget for the following year to make that a permanent camera on the pole based on crime data and statistics. So we can't just it's written in the laws. We can't just put cameras up in particular places because, we just decide we wanted to monitor that particular area. It has to be for a reason. And that's kind of how they select where they're going to go based on where the commanders are putting in, and definitely have put it in, what the crime data looks like or the stats look like for that particular area. Cameras being moved, they go down. For maintenance. I have my third trailer that was loaned to me has been down for over 6 months. They damage them, they break them, so they no longer work. People, the graffiti all over it, right all over them. So those are things that take the cameras out of rotation. But each district is given, a few mobile trailers. So I hope that answered your question.
Thank you.
Commissioner Johnson?
So I know in the past, my SMD had I believe, 4 cameras to start with, and then we strategically moved it down. But you elicited the very point that we were trying to make, is that there is not enough individuals who can monitor, let alone work on those cameras to get them to fruition. So, what is being done to ensure that those cameras are being maintained?
So we have a technical bureau that maintains the cameras. They have individuals, different contracts to make sure that they're keeping them up and fixing them. But I also want to make sure that we're clear,
That
like with these cameras.
Commander Lappenhouse, that did not occur. We
What?
had, and your your people were here in my house, and that did not occur.
I'm sorry,
It
what didn't
was
Yeah,
occur?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
there
Like,
was no movement to replace, fix anything, the cameras.
well, how do
So
you, I mean, how do you know that that wasn't requested? If you're saying it
because
didn't,
I'm the one who put in the request.
you put in the request for MPD to fix the camera.
Yeah.
Is
The
that how it works,
lights,
Commander?
the lights, the camera, everything. And I was told the same as you just stated, that there are not enough uh people to go around. So
So
what
what
is
I
being
think you're,
done?
I'm sorry, what I think you're talking, are you talking about the light trailer that needed to be charged
Yes.
with that one?
Yes.
Yeah, so with the light trailer, so that's a little different. So that's a light trailer, there's no camera attached
Okay.
to it. So the light trailer is
Okay.
powered by, it's solar powered. So it depends on, is it cloudy? Did it get enough light for it to come back on? Sometimes when it goes down pretty far, it does need to be brought back to the station to charge. Now, again, the people who handle moving the mobile trailers, whether they be light trailers or cameras, they work in the technical and analytical bureau. They work during the day. So each district, yes, has an officer or two that are able to move it during the nighttime, but they also have a right to take off and they go sick. So, that's kind of where it is. But there is a bureau that handles it. They work 9 to 5 or 8 to 4, but each district does have someone that can move it, but it's one or two people that are trained on moving the trailer. So we definitely can do better on moving the trailers to get them, the light trailers to get them charged, but it still doesn't change the fact that we only have so many.
Okay. Any other questions from the community, Evan, for
Chair
Commander?
Brooks, there's one in the Q&A if you want
Okay,
me to read it.
I do.
Sarah DeWitt asks, speeding and illegal passing the bike lane at the intersection of Madison Street and Kansas Avenue Northwest. I believe the speed camera on Kansas Avenue is no longer working. What can we do to slow down and calm traffic at this very dangerous intersection? I see close calls there almost daily.
Commander Lady House, how do you respond? You're on mute. Yeah.
So Madison and Kansas, I'll make sure that I put that in for our citywide traffic units to make sure that they do enforcement there. But in the meantime, I'll make sure that we also have officers running some traffic there. I've recently, due to traffic, concerns from the community, set up a traffic unit. We try to have that traffic vehicle in service every tour duty, but again, it's one person that I'm pulling away from calls for service for emergency calls to run that traffic, but it definitely was necessary. So I'll make sure that that is added to the list of locations to handle.
Okay. Thank you. I also just want to mention, this is more like just putting this out there. There have been a lot of car break-ins along First Street, on the side streets like Madison, Longfellow, Kennedy, between New Hampshire and Riggs. And I know that at least one person's vehicle, work truck, has been hit 3 times, but he doesn't call you. He doesn't report it. For whatever reason, he has concerns about engaging with the police. What else can I do? I've tried to get him to report it, and he hasn't. So is there anything else that I can do there? or that you all can do?
Well, you're letting me know, so I'll make sure that I let the team know that his vehicle has been hit in the general area, and I'll talk to you offline and get some specifics about it. But I'll share with the group. We have been doing certain operations, so just like our package theft operations, we have been doing kind of bait vehicle operations to try to combat that as well.
Okay, thank you. All right. You survived. We'll move to the rest of the report section now and go to, I believe, Ms. Acosta is already promoted. She's here from the mayor's office, so we can just jump right in.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Good, and yourself?
Thanks.
Thank you for having me here today. I'm the Ward 4 liaison for the Mayor's Office of Community Engagement. I just want to remind everybody leaf season has started to make sure that we are raking the leaves towards the middle or by tree branches. The tree branches also make sure that we do not put the leaves in plastic bags. And I know last time a question was asked to DPW pass out the plastic bags. However, no, they don't. I mean, the paper bag, sorry, not plastic bag. And they don't. Also, just want to make sure that all those that might need rental assistance, utility assistance, the ERAP, it is up and running. It does take a process. It's not an overnight funds given away right away, but you could do your application. And also DC Health Link is open. And also for all those that have 311 requests that need some support with their 311 requests, I could put my email on the chat and my phone number, and we could support with those requests if they have not been dealt with yet. And I have seen your email today. I will follow up about
I wasn't gonna say it.
I will follow up, and also I know last time Ms. Joyce, she did have a concern about the 800 block between Underwood and Van Buren. Just the street. I did go out and submitted a 311 request for her.
Okay. All right. Does anyone have any? Commissioner Palmer?
Yes, thank you, Chair Brooks. Leticia, thank you for being here. I just want to flag what I know will be an upcoming question, which is the need for paving on the 6500 block of 8th Street. It's also actually needed on the 6500 block of 7th Place. And these are two blocks that have been requesting paving for literally years. And we're told to wait due to utility work, and that utility work is over. So I'm just putting in another request for an update. It's been several years, and these are blocks I don't even drive, but these are blocks that are very, very in need of paving.
So the 6500 block, that's the one I submitted?
Yeah, that's been submitted for years. Like we have probably a dozen requests.
And which one's the other?
It's the same, it's the 6500 block of 7th Place. There are multiple requests for both blocks over years.
All right. And I will also follow up with DPW. I mean, sorry, DDOT, my apologies.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just hoping that these are at some point on the paving schedule. I know we're not in paving season, but for an upcoming paving cycle. And I would like to flag, we have an item on our consent calendar raising issues with the Tacoma Aquatic Center that are also longstanding issues in terms of the hours and kind of random closures and lack of communication with the community. And I think one thing that would be extremely helpful is to have a point of contact for the commission or the community at large in terms of someone they can reach out to talk about those types of issues.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Commissioner Yates?
Yeah, I just wanted to flag that I actually believe the ERAP portal is already closed. That that the funding has already run out for ERAP. It ran out within like 5 hours of opening. But in addition to that, I just wanted to flag my concern. The mayor and her leadership has chosen not to enforce the new district's law banning right turn on red in the city. Council passed it over her objection. They had a majority to do it, and that she's just declined to enforce that law. So if you could pass that along, I'd appreciate it. I think it doesn't help achieve the Vision Zero goals, and as everybody knows, the Vision Zero numbers in the city have been moving in the wrong direction.
Well, I would argue that as I sat at a light today with no cars in the other direction for what felt like an eternity, with no one on the street but me, that's not necessarily always needed. And when I have more scooters than bikes on the street not obeying the law, I got concerns.
I'll just say that right turn on red is a highly dangerous maneuver for pedestrians. It kills pedestrians.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
There are two questions in the Q&A, Chair Brooks.
Go ahead.
Mimi asks, my rodents have eaten a hole on the bottom and top of my trash cans. Please advise when I can get a replacement can. Yes, a 311 was submitted.
I placed my information on the chat. Will you mind forwarding me that information with the service number so I could follow up with DPW?
I'm gonna look for it because I think I have it. She's asked about the situation before, so I'm gonna look and see if I still have it.
All right.
Scott Knickerbocker also says he was commissioner from 2015 to 2020 and requested repaving for 8th Street and 7th Street, so it has been at least a decade.
Okay, Commissioner Johnson.
Sorry, I just wanted to hop in. When you're saying, Evan, that people need to, monitor the rules of the road for bike and pedestrians, I had an individual who said, nope, the bicyclists didn't do what they were supposed to do with the hand signals. So what are we doing about that?
With all due respect, Tiffany, I didn't actually mention bicyclists at all. I said that right turn on red is a dangerous maneuver for pedestrians, which is true. The studies that's whenever there's a crash, the crashes are rare, but when they occur, they're almost always fatal or near fatal for pedestrians. And the district council passed a law banning right turn on red throughout the city, and the mayor has said she won't enforce it.
Well, we don't have the signage. We don't have the signage to say that. And I completely agree with you because I oppose right turn on red. But what are we going to do in the interim to protect people?
I think it's a good question for the mayor.
I just wanted to put that on the record.
Fair enough. Okay. Leticia.
Thank you, guys.
Good. I forwarded you Mimi's email.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Next, Barbara Rogers.
She has been elevated.
Ms. Rogers, good evening.
Good evening. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Good evening, commissioners. Good evening to the community. And I want to start by saying, from our office, from the council member to the commissioners that are not returning, we want to say thank you so much for your service. For me, it has, as a former commissioner, it's really been an honor to work with all of you. But I know, and I told Allison this when I asked her to run for my seat, is that you will know when it is time to say I'm done. But we just want to say thank you all so much for your service, and keep our contact information because I know you all will still stay engaged in the community. I just have a few updates here. DPW was already mentioned, but I'm happy to put the information that we have because this is 4C. Section 4C, which is our community, Lamont, Manor Park, and Tacoma is 4C. And so that actually it starts this week. Just update for SNAP. Earlier this month, DHS announced that DC residents applying for or certifying their SNAP benefits will be required to complete interviews to make sure that they are eligible starting December 1st. DHS is currently in the process of conducting outreach to SNAP recipients, including distributing flyers and also informing their case workers. DC Health Link open enrollment was also mentioned. Residents can apply until January 31st, 2025. There is a link, and I'm happy to put that in the chat. It is the holiday season, and I think if I see one more turkey, I am going to scream. But we had our Thanksgiving turkey giveaway on Saturday that was held for Ward 4 families at the Riggs LaSalle Recreation Center in partnership with the Lamont Riggs Citizens Association. So we want to thank all those who came out, volunteered, and supported the event. DC Water update. Tomorrow, DC Water is expecting to perform water service reconnections and roadway restoration activities on Quintana Place Northwest and 7th Street Northwest, and on the 100 block of Sheridan Street Northwest. So in light of Thanksgiving, there will be no construction activities scheduled for Wednesday through Friday. We have a new grocery store coming to Riggs Park. The Aldi Riggs Park opening will be on Thursday, December 5th, which that's when they open. And it's located at 5300 South Dakota Avenue. As I said, in Riggs Park. We're excited to welcome a new business into our community, and we really can't wait to have a brand new grocery store available in Ward 4. And then finally, just closing, if you don't get our newsletter, please subscribe to our newsletter. I'm going to put the link in the chat. And finally, we do office hours every week. This is a great way to connect with our office. We're at Fort Stevens Recreation Center every Wednesday from noon to 1. And then we're at Hattie Holmes Senior Wellness Center from 1:30 to 2:30. That's all I have. Happy to take any questions. And again, good luck to the commissioners not coming back. Enjoy your extra time.
Thank you. Commissioner Palmer?
Yes, thank you, Chair Brooks. I just wanted to express gratitude to Barbara, who has always been incredibly responsive and willing to show up at the many events that we host to represent the council member and share resources. I know that that's a priority for the council member, and I appreciate that Barbara is willing to show up in person physically and talk to neighbors and share resources, which has been a priority for us as well. So thank you, Barbara.
Thank you.
I'm just going to keep calling like I am the commissioner, and you still have to respond to me. You don't have to call me commissioner. That's fine. All right. Thank you very much. Oh, I'm sorry. Were there any questions in the chat, Commissioner Yates? Okay.
No, Chair.
We'll move on then to State Board of Education Representative Fraser O'Leary. Hello.
Good evening. I want to start with saying how impressed I was with your annual report. That was really beautiful.
That is Commissioner Palmer and Commissioner Yates create.
I know that they headed it, but I know that the rest of the people helped with it too. Couple of things. We are working with OSSI on the student profile. and graduation requirements. We'll be talking about that at our business meeting next Wednesday. The student graduation requirements are still under Carnegie units, and Carnegie units were devised in 1880, and our system is still working with Carnegie units with a certain number of points for grades for graduation and things like that. And I think it's time for us to get into the 21st century with this. We will be working at our business meeting on a resolution that we've written to have mentoring for new teachers, a 3-year program that we'll try to charge OSSI with being in charge of. And we'll bring that up and hopefully we're going to vote on that at our public meeting on the second Wednesday of December. That's December the 11th, where we're also going to have a panel on cell phone usage in the classrooms. I've talked to you about that before. I'm still soliciting public comment at our meeting. You can go to sboe.dc.gov and sign up to testify at our meeting on the 11th. I know I've had commitments from a couple of members of the committee, and I hope that y'all show up and talk about. We're not trying to order any specific kind of cell phone law, but we would like to make sure that the students are not distracted by their cell phones in the classroom. Also, I'd like to mention how much I've enjoyed having the members of our community donate books to Mrs. O'Leary's Books for Friends. I'll still be doing that after January 1st. And I will put if you don't know my email by now, then that's wrong. But I'll put my number and my email in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my last ANC 4B meeting. And I just want to thank everyone so much for your support and for your calls about things that haven't gone right in the ANC. I hope that I've helped you with them. I've really enjoyed being your representative for the last 6 years. And I'll still be a phone call or an email away.
Well, thank you very much for your service. It's greatly appreciated.
Oh, thank you.
Questions for Frazier?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank Mr. O'Leary for his service on the state board, and also just the appreciation for his decades of service to the students of DC as a public school teacher before that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll have books for you, so I'll be in touch.
I actually think I have a box set aside somewhere to go with the ones I've given him in the past.
Good. Well,
there'll be more coming, don't worry.
I'll be on the social media, I guess, to solicit more books. I delivered about 200 last week, as a matter of fact, and still got some to deliver for tomorrow.
Well, thank you so much, Frazier. I just want to put out my equally sentiment. You have done a great job, and I will be donating as well.
Thank you so much.
Okay. We will move on to committee updates. We'll start with Housing Justice Committee.
Thank you, Chair Brooks. The Housing Justice Committee's last meeting was on November 6th. We had a very robust agenda with the District Office of Human Rights, giving us a very detailed presentation on housing discrimination issues and remedies. And we were able to bolster that conversation by also having lawyers from Legal Counsel for the Elderly and Equal Rights Center. So it was a really great conversation and discussion. And the committee's next meeting will actually be a social as the committee wraps up its service. That will be Wednesday, December 4th at 7:30 at Tacoma Station Tavern. That is our last official meeting where we will raise a toast in thanks to the Housing Justice Committee. In the meantime, the committee is working very hard on several items before the end of December, working on finalizing a tenant resource hub, which is a compilation of resources that the committee received and various organizations, government agencies, community groups put together for the committee's tenant resource fair. The committee is also working on submitting testimony, hopefully by Friday, on the Vacant to Vibrant Act, expressing some feedback on that. And if you will indulge me for a moment, I'd like to thank the committee members for their service. This committee started in 2020. It was the first of the commission's committees after committees shut down for a period of time. And the commissioners used that opportunity to think about setting up committees that would serve unique and important needs, and housing justice was the first of that type of committee. It came together to consider proposed developments within the commission area to maximize housing, including affordable housing and deeply affordable housing, to provide feedback on legislation and policy related to affordable housing and ending chronic homelessness, and to do education and resource outreach to the community. And the committee has had quite an impact. They've done just so much. It's a committee of people who have such valuable expertise on housing issues, and who have worked incredibly hard. And one of the things that I think we're most proud of is the work we've done on local development within the commission area. And over the course of the committee's tenure, the commission has welcomed or will welcome about 1,000 units of affordable housing and approximately 1,700 units of market rate housing. So we really have done our fair share in terms of welcoming housing, including deeply affordable housing, to the commission area. So I'd like to give a shout out to our current members, Zoila Hinson, Julia Moran Morton, Brenda Parks, and Leanne Smith Rosenberg, as well as past committee members, Maxine Davis, Allison Horn, Latifa Lyles, and Chris Sousa. This committee has done just incredibly meaningful work, and it's the group that I am most grateful for all their dedication and the true impact they've had on the community. So thank you for indulging that update.
Of course. Commissioner Yates, before you give your update, let me say that Commissioner Yates allowed me the privilege of being the co-chair of this committee, but he truly, truly is the chair and manages all of the content and all of the meetings. And I'm really appreciative for the many, many times that you've had to fill in for me and pick up my slack. So thank you for that.
Thanks, Chair Brooks. The Commission's Vision Zero Committee held its final meeting November 20th. We heard a presentation from Zach Kimbetti from the District Department of Transportation about the Georgia Avenue Bus Priority Project, some of which the feedback from that meeting and from that presentation you'll see on our agenda tonight for formal commission action, which is not unusual for the Vision Zero Committee. There have been a lot of things over the years it has existed that have ended up on our agenda. I may rival the Housing Justice Committee for most productive in terms of things that get turned into agenda items. And I am truly appreciative of the co-chair, Chair Brooks, who had the vision with me to set up the first committee in the entire city dedicated to the concept of Vision Zero. I will note that there are other commissions since then that have followed our lead, which is an exciting thing to see. Special thanks to our committee members, current and past. The first two that I want to recognize are Tony Giancola and Sharon Hines, both of whom have served on the committee since its inception. Current committee members Donnie Baranowski, Dave Cook, and the past committee members David Eubanks, Jeff Spear, and Amber Trout. Their contributions to our committee and to the expertise that has built in this commission around these concepts. Some of these people have true professional expertise that they very graciously lent to our commission, working for free for the betterment of our neighbors, and it's very much appreciated.
All right. Next, we'll go to Youth Advisory Committee, Commissioner Palmer.
Thank you, Chair Brooks. This is a committee that Chair Brooks and I co-chair. It's comprised of youth committee members. We are, once again, setting precedent with the only committee citywide that has actual youth, only ANC committee citywide that has youth members. This is a great committee. Our last meeting was on November 16th, and we had a service activity where we volunteered with the District Department of Parks and Recreation at their communal farm at Letterer Gardens in Ward 7. We did all kinds of cool stuff. We harvested vegetables, we picked flowers, we dug trenches and mulched in support of their food forest, and we distributed food and flowers to seniors in need. And it was a wonderful experience and dedicated to furthering the youth committee members' interest in working on food insecurity and food desert issues. And in December, we will be doing another service activity on December 8th at 4 p.m., making trail mix for Martha's Table. If you haven't done that before, it's a great family-friendly service activity. The trail mix bags are distributed via their McKenna's wagon, which sets up and hands out food to unhoused neighbors. And so we'll be doing that, and we may be having another substantive virtual meeting in the month of December, so stay tuned for that. All of this information is and will be on the Commission's website.
Okay, community safety and support. I believe you probably gave most of your update earlier, but if there's more to add.
No, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has responded out, and to our committee members. Thank you so much for your support. We are always still looking for new committee members. We have actually done a lot in terms of having meetings and facilitating a dialogue with regards to oh God, I just totally froze there for a second. Sorry. With regards to our vacant and vibrant properties and how we can handle those. And so we are working on right now testimony to support that initiative. And thank you.
You're welcome. All right, we will move into our presentations. The theme for this month is food insecurity, having presentations by Casey Dyson, the Government Relations and Public Funding Director for Food and Friends, and then we'll go through the others as each one wraps up. So we'll start with Casey Dyson.
I'm promoting them all in
the same time. Okay. We'll call them out one at a time. We'll start with Casey. And I also want to say that Casey is, right in the 4B08 backyard and is a wonderful member of this community. She always shows up and supports and contributes to the goals of this area. And so thank you, Casey.
Thank you, Commissioner Brooks and all the commissioners in Ward 4. We do love being neighbors, and happy to be here tonight and sad to see some of you leave. As you said, we are Food and Friends. We're on the corner of Riggs in South Dakota, behind all those trees where soon there will be a park. We have been in the community for over 20 years. We are a community-based nonprofit, and our mission is to improve the lives and health of people with serious illness who are too sick to shop or cook for themselves. So we do address food insecurity in kind of a different way than most forward-facing groups. We help people feel better. We help them save money, and we help feed them. We do know that about 36% of our clients, we are the only source of food for them. So in addition to them not being able to cook, they are spending their money usually on healthcare. So we help with that. We do that through preparing in our kitchen and home delivering medically tailored meals, groceries, and we do medical nutrition therapy with our registered dietitians. The services are free for clients and their families because we know when people are sick, they're going to feed their families before they feed themselves. So we want to make sure they feel better. We feed their families. We do this with a staff of about 65 and about 4,000 volunteers annually. Many of the volunteers are from the neighborhood. The commissioners have come to volunteer, and we appreciate that. The volunteers help us do 1.9 million meals across the region last year. That's DC, Maryland, and Virginia, 1.9 million meals. About half of our work is in DC specifically. And in Ward 4, it was over 100,000 meals that we delivered to about 400 clients. Now, our volunteers, like I said, 4,000, many are from the neighborhoods. And if anybody's got some time in the next 2 weeks and in the future, we would love to have volunteers. This Thursday, like Barbara said, she's getting a little sick of seeing turkeys. We have 800 turkeys that we're preparing and putting together to feed 4,500 meals on Thursday, on Thanksgiving Day. So we're always looking for volunteers, and the need is especially big this year. I think the election has
Casey,
people.
thank you.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I think you froze for a second, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. The election has some of our volunteers and folks a little out of. So we're looking for additional volunteers this year. What else can I tell you? Some new things that are happening. We've got a collaboration with Fresh Farm to try to purchase more local groceries from Black and brown farmers. We've got a new partnership with the American Kidney Fund to support DC residents. And new just last month, we announced a partnership where we're serving folks with sickle cell disease as part of a partnership with Howard University Center for Sickle Cell Disease. And that's it. I do also want to say to you, having been a nonprofit executive for 35 years, you commissioners, you are amazing. That annual report, unlike anything I've ever seen, please come work for us. These meetings are always so civil and so well run, efficient. You're caring. It's amazing. Keep going. You're doing great work. Thank you.
Thank you. We will move next to Sia Kamara. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
That is correct.
All right.
And I'm Sia Barbara Kamara. I'm the Connections Coordinator at Faith United Church of Christ, which is based in Ward 5, and we serve the entire, all wards of the city. I am, however, a Ward 4 resident in Lamar and Riggs. We have been providing our mobile market for over 12 years now. And just to give you a sense of the numbers that we serve, I'll just share 1 month. In October this year, and we have the mobile market and diaper distribution. They are held on the third Thursday of every month. And I appreciate all of those who share our flyers for your neighbors and friends. In October, we served 342 households and 804 people in all of those households. We also share food with about 100 residents at the Edgewood development. I have a PowerPoint that I can send to Commissioner Palmer to share with everyone, but I'll just do some highlights. In addition to people needing food, because food has increased, that they need many other things. So we provide baby diapers and adult diapers. 106 people received baby diapers, and 40 in October, 40 of those were new households. We have a number of partnerships. Capital Area Food Bank, of course, provides food. We get support from MedStar, um, Family Care, and from the monastery over on 14th Street Northeast. All of those groups provide food. We, at our mobile market, we have an array of services from various agencies of district governments, 8 to 10 agencies every month come. And then they keep coming back because we have so many people coming through. For instance, the child car seat program came, and they found out that they just see so many people. And because we have this large group of people coming for baby diapers, they have been making car seats available, the vouchers available for people. That then helps people who can't afford them, although this is a program from the district and people generally don't know about so many of these programs. The Ward 5 Mutual Aid provides baby diapers, and various people help us with the adult diapers. And many of the health groups also come to our meeting, our mobile market. Just want to tell you about a few other partnerships that we have. Georgetown Medical School provides free flu shots, COVID shots, foot clinic, food as medicine sessions, so that many people just want to do the meds, but they say this is some way that you can use your food and the food that you get here at the mobile market as medicine. We had a law firm who had a baby diaper drive, not just the diapers, but various products that families with babies might need. They came over to during the mobile market time and distributed the baby diapers, the food, baby food, and wipes to families. And they talked with the people coming through who had babies. The director of the Early Childhood Center came and talked with them about any questions that the parents had about babies. We partnered with the Mary Elizabeth House for Girls who've aged out of foster care. There were 12 of them. So we were providing food to the girls, but we found out the girls didn't know how to cook fresh vegetables. So we partnered with another group that provided each of the girls, with young women, with a slow cooker, and then provided lessons for them on how to cook the vegetables and other things in the slow cooker, and then connected with another group that provided the young women with a month's worth of food every month until they left the Mary Elizabeth House. So partnership is definitely what we do. And we provide food to a limited number of families throughout the year. This time of year is always a big request. And then we have groups such Costco provides items for us every week. And so the weeks that we don't have the mobile market, we make it available to either other nonprofits or other faith-based groups, so that they're just not sitting there in our space.
Okay. Does anyone want to go first?
I'm sorry, go ahead. Deacon Kamara, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to see if anybody had any questions about this, about what it is that we're doing. We're trying to serve the whole family and the
Commissioner Palmer, do you want to go ahead now, or do you want to wait until we've heard from Reverend Nelson and then just ask questions of everyone?
Either is fine. I defer to your preference.
I would let Reverend Nelson go, and then we can ask questions. Go ahead, Reverend. I'm sorry, let me introduce you. Reverend Nelson is the Interim Executive Director of Emory Beacon of Light. The floor is yours. Trying to get off mute. Let's see if I can help.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much for the opportunity. I do appreciate the work that each of you do. As said, I am Reverend Latosca Nelson with Emory Beacon of Light, and we are always talking about illuminating pathways to hope. I serve along with our executive director board, who supports me in the work that I do. Our mission at Emory Beacon of Light is dedicated to eliminating pathways to hope through food distribution and community engagement, addressing food disparities, and serving the needs of our local community and beyond. Some of the benefits that we look to do is to alleviate food insecurity, to foster community engagement, and we understand that it also raises other issues when we have conversations around social issues. As you all know, Emory Beacon of Light has been doing this work for the last 27 years, and we are still on the grounds. We serve every Tuesday, unless something happens. We serve fresh fruit and vegetables. We're partnering with organizations to serve. We serve anywhere sometimes between 60 and to 120 people weekly, depending on the time of the month. Sometimes the first of the month is more. We offer food tips, and when we can't do food distribution on Tuesdays, we've partnered with the church, Emory Fellowship, to do like pizza parties, cultural meals. We still offer Thanksgiving meals, fresh fruit and vegetables. We have moved to do it on a farmer's market style. Also, we have another initiative that we have food distribution on Saturday. We started in June 2024, we partnered with Crowder Roman's Food Bank for the food, but then we moved to not just doing food on that Saturday, partnered up with Bread of Life, which is out of Houston, Texas. Some organizations that Matthew 25, which is the Procter & Gamble, which provides 18-wheeler of truck, maybe about $250,000 worth of product, where each family is able to get a box of product, household goods, with anywhere from $200 to $250 worth, so that hopefully the goal is so that it can take some pressure off of buying household needs and possibly being able to purchase more food. We have various partners that we are appreciative to help us with the food distribution. Also, we have ways to evaluate as we are repurposing and doing the area of our our food distribution. We will be doing surveys and just getting feedback from particular people in the community. But our ultimate goal is to transform lives and the community within our thing. Our area of Brightwood, 6100 Georgia Avenue. And we thank you so much for this time. And I do have a presentation that I'll send.
Thank you. All right, questions. Let's start with Commissioner Palmer, since I asked you to wait.
Thank you, Chair Brooks. I'm eager. I'm really grateful for everyone who's here to present about your good work. I've been very impressed by each of your organizations and all that you do to serve the community. And I think one of the things that people are wondering is how they can best support you, whether that's through monetary donations or time. Like how can they support you? How can they get in touch with you? If you can please share that information with us.
All our operation is totally volunteer. And so we welcome volunteers. I have about 100 volunteers on our list. I should also mention that Emory has provided some of those products for us that went in 15 minutes last Thursday with people going through. So also helping us with trying to do some systems building. We have grown so fast. We've grown from having food for 100 from the Capital Area Food Bank to 400. And then we have so many multiple services. So somebody has some time helping to coordinate those activities with bringing in other groups because people need more than just the food and resources. And we've been looking at putting together a series around mental health because during this time of year, a lot of people are very depressed, trying to spend money they don't have. Although Department of Behavioral Health does come to our mobile markets and work with people. And we definitely will accept, we have a 501c3 CDC, and the church is also a 501c3. We welcome donations. And we have some international initiatives that we do as well.
Okay.
Is that helpful?
Yes. Did everyone respond? We miss Casey?
We just had Sia respond.
Okay, Casey, and then, well, Reverend Nelson's off mute, so we'll let her go next, and then we'll go to Casey.
Okay, yeah, we're at www.emerybol.org. And my email address, I put it in the chat, l.nelson@emerybol.org. Yes, we do have a QR code where you can donate. We do take checks as well. The support with volunteers. We could not do this without partnership. We would like to do more. As you notice, we've done it every other month as it relates to the food distribution because it is a cost, and our partners were not able to support us every month, and we understood that, as well as the flood or the hurricane season. A lot of your Procter and Gamble product went to the survivors from the hurricane season, so we're looking to start that back up as well. But again, we're www.emerybol.org. And if anyone email me, I can give my phone number as well, and I'll send the presentation with the information on it as well.
Okay, thank you. Casey?
Sure, we're very much the same. You can support us by volunteering, or we do certainly love donations. Put my information in the chat. I also have a presentation I'm happy to share, so you can just email me if you'd like to see that. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Yates, did you have a question?
Yeah, I wanted to start just by expressing my gratitude and how fortunate we are as a Ward 4 community and 4B community to have these three organizations all serving our community, and we're grateful for everything you do. The one thing I've come across when I have dealt with food insecurity issues in the past is that there are sometimes certain high need food items that you don't always doesn't match your donations. And as this time, I'm sure a lot of our constituents are thinking about what they can donate and what they should donate, things like this. I bet it's a really common thing. What are the sort of high need items that you don't typically get that you would like to see people think about when they donate? Other, like, I understand there's usually a preference for cash, right? For monetary donations, but if people do want to donate tangible items, what's a good choice?
I think sort of like our your staples, like bags of beans, rice, but also keep in mind when people are donating, getting things with, if you're going to get canned goods, that pop open, because we do have unhoused people that, don't have a kitchen. So, that's why we went to the fresh produce for farmers markets, so that they can pick up an apple, pick up a banana to eat, because they're on the streets, rather than us giving them a whole lot of canned goods and then we find them on the street, down the street later. So they're able to get what they need rather than what we just give to them, because we always want to make sure that we're doing with our community rather than doing for, but just still making sure that we can have something for everyone. There are some families that want to cook, and there are some families that says, hey, I wish I could, but I can't. So we want to keep that in mind as well.
That's helpful. Thank you.
I think although we get donations of diapers, when it was in September, 52 people left with not a diaper. So diapers are so expensive, and they're really, really needed. I mean, it just brings people from all over the place looking for diapers. So that is certainly one of the greatest needs is more diapers for babies.
Is there a size range that's better, just out of curiosity?
The diapers.
Yes. Like,
Yes,
as
they
someone who's
do.
had kids go through all the sizes.
They certainly do. From zero newborns through 6 is what we normally have, and it's more challenging getting sufficient number of the 4s, 5s, and 6s, the larger
That's perfect.
sizes.
Thank you. That's useful to know.
All right.
I
I'm
think
seeing no
Casey,
more questions.
can we ask Casey? There was the one panelist thing. Is that all right?
Sure, absolutely. So we do medically tailored meals. So the ingredients we source are a little bit more specialized. So rather than taking actual food donations, we recommend that people, if they can do a monetary donation or volunteer their time, that's the best way to really interact with us.
And to buy pies also. Huh?
Oh, thank
He
you for
can.
that. Yes, you can buy pies this time of year.
I'm 2 blocks away from you.
Ah, wonderful.
So he can choose his own meals. I'm still trying to understand this.
Who are you
Yes.
talking? Tiff?
I'm sorry.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes, I'm trying to understand. Is he choosing his own meals or is someone choosing them for him? And he's accepting that.
At Food and Friends?
Yes.
The clients work with our dietitians to find a meal plan that is best for them. So, for example, someone might have uncontrolled diabetes, and so they get meals that are specific to help them care for their diabetes.
Okay.
And
And he's approved of that.
they come to us through their medical professionals, so we work in concert with their clinicians.
Got you. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. My email's in the chat, so feel free to send me an email if you have more questions.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. If there are no more questions, I'd like to thank all of you for your presentations and for hanging in with us this evening. I know it's almost 9 p.m. We're going to move to the consent calendar, which is the last item on the agenda. There are 4 items that have been posted to our website and were available for community review. Consent calendar items are not discussed in the meeting. They're typically things that have already been previously discussed. Resolution 4B241101, authorizing commission printing expenditures. It's Commissioner Brooks, Smith, Yates, and Palmer. A letter highlighting the continued administrative challenges and lack of support from the Office of the ANC Commissions. Commissioner Palmer, Brooks, Yates, and Smith. Letter raising concerns regarding Tacoma Community Pool Management and Maintenance. Commissioners Palmer, Smith, Yates, and Brooks. Resolution 4B241102, supporting Georgia Avenue Bus Priority Project. Commissioners Palmer, Gilligan, Yates, and Brooks. Is there a motion to accept the consent calendar as presented?
1 second. I think I was just moving presenters and I may have lost one of our commissioners. So 1 second. Yes, I moved Jenin over. Apologies. When I do this, the names float around. So 1 second, please.
Yeah, got it.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Apologies. That was a mistake.
No problem. Commissioner Berry, did you hear everything I said?
Yes.
Okay. So is there a motion to accept the the consent calendar as presented?
I so move.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's everyone. All right. With that, I will adjourn the last meeting of 2024. I will remind residents that we do not meet in December, and the next meeting is scheduled for January 27th at 2025.
Thank you, Chair Brooks.
For what? Thank you.
Have a good evening.